for our intro. They're called The Stranger Beside Me. Yeah, it was the Alex Jones show anyway. Infowars.com. Yeah, so anyway, they're called The Stranger Beside Me. This song is called The Artist, so let's see what you think.
Let's go back in time and relive the memory. You saw my favorite chapter, the friend I've had the memory. And oh my God, let's dive in right now for the plan that we made. We want the best reset the future name and clean up this blood you made. Let's take the name, because one day cross will fill the sky. Uplifting the words that I can't describe. My papers will fill the sky. That's what I wanna take from keeping on this side. What makes it not this mural? Nothing lasting cover until you run your whole life. What you will see is final thoughts come to bring it to life. Yeah, with your eyes straight discarded into your mold.
That was my zombie killing track for the week. It's one of my favourite songs at the moment, and they're one of my favourite bands at the moment, The Stranger Beside Me. That was The Artist. So yeah, I'll leave with that. I'll leave you and hand you over to Eddie. Once again, don't forget to check us out. Facebook, JiG, the letter N, Eddie, JiG and Eddie. And you can find our 2 pages, Zombie Life Podcast Facebook page and ZFC Worldwide Facebook page. So go and check us out, hook us up with content, whatever you want. If you want us to add anything to the show, awesome. Check out our website, zombielifepodcast.wordpress.com, which is hopefully soon going to be zombielifepodcast.com. Check out stuff there. We've got a backlog of all of our episodes. You can find a link to our voicemail service, and we encourage you to use it. We want to just get as many voicemails in as we can. Hopefully, if we get another question, you can hook us up with SpeakPod. We upload all sorts of bits and pieces there. I'll keep it updated as much as I can with content, stuff for you to enjoy. Also Twitter. Check us out on Twitter at Jamie Jig Tuffin, at Eddie Rotten, and at ZMBL Podcast. But other than that, I'm going to hand you over to the wonderful, beautiful Eddie Rotten to talk to you a bit more about what he wants to talk to you about. So until then, I'll speak to you next week.
Alrighty, this is Eddie Rotten. This is part 2 of the Zombie Life podcast. Thank you so much, Jig, for opening that bad boy for us. This can of worms just is spilling out all over the place. You had a question of the episode, which was, what 3 things would you take in the event of the zombie apocalypse when it comes? Dude, there's so many things that I can think of that I wouldn't take. I know there have been some staples in my life. If something hit, if it all went down right now, there is a Boy Scout handbook that I would take. Now, inside this Boy Scout handbook, it's basically a survival guide to anything. There's like recipes, there's remedies, there's all kinds of stuff. There's water filtration stuff inside the Boy Scout handbook that you don't have to buy. So it's just a free, some way that you put 2 leaves together and make something work out. I can't go into the details, but I know that a Boy Scout handbook or a survivalist guide is one of the things that I would definitely take. If I had a gun, I would most likely take that. I don't think that I would take anything huge. Shotgun being the biggest thing that I would try to load around. Guns are pretty heavy, man. You can find stuff along the way in the apocalypse. If you are any way familiar with zombie movies, you leave. If the people that have stayed put, they usually get hurt or die, whatever. So you find the best window to take off, and you take off and usually find some stuff along the way, like machetes, like you were saying, Jig. John said a really good one, which was the water filtration system. Of course, you got to bring your family. That goes without being said. Star definitely stuck that out with bringing her daughter. So, really though, for me, it would be the Survivalist Handbook, okay? Boy Scout Handbook, Survivalist Handbook. It would be a hand melee weapon of some sort, like a machete or a baseball bat. Because if you have a gun, you can grab it, but most people aren't thinking about it. I don't think that you're going to think about bringing a gun when you got zombies bashing in through your back door. You think about you go into that animal instinct of killing immediately with your hands. At least that's what I would do, I think. So that leaves one left for me. What's the last thing that I would take during the zombie apocalypse? Man, it would probably be a flashlight. If I had it in my to-go kit, it would be the Survivalist book. It would be some kind of weapon, hand weapon, and a flashlight, because when it gets dark, it's dark, man. And you need to be able to see what's going on. And if zombies see the light, then that's your bad. You have to be on top of your game. But you want to see. And seeing is done with a flashlight, unless you have, like, a huge case of Bic lighters. But not many people have that. So those are my 3 things. In case of a zombie apocalypse that's going to come whenever, those are the 3 things that I'm going to bring. So thank you so much, Jig, for that awesome question. We can move on to the next subject. So yeah, moving on to the very next piece of business was the audio clip from last episode. I'm embarrassed at this because as soon as I played it before I was finished even playing it, Jig figured it out, texted it to me, and told me, hey, the answer is Shaun of the Dead. It's the very opening scene when the camera pans from the very bottom of his feet and it kind of goes up and he yawns. Sounds just like a zombie. Well, half of that yawn triggered Jig to text me, and I'm just mortified. I can't believe that he figured it out so fast. So I'm gonna have to find another clip. I have some of them, and I'll play them, but not yet. Let me move on to the next thing. And the next thing being the Batman Massacre. I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, and I have my theories. As crazy as they might be, these are things that I truly, totally believe in. I shot out that it could possibly be a, somebody's dosing up the pot out there and making all these people go crazy because most of these people that are going ape crap, they got weed in their system, man. So what am I supposed to think? If you go crazy and you got some weed in your system, people are going to think maybe it's the weed. Now, I'm not in any way saying that smoking a little weed is bad. I don't think that it's the best thing. You know, if you can get it in pill form or in some brownies, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that's probably the best way to go. But, it's out there. So if they don't have anything else in their system and they have a little bit of weed, it makes me think that maybe it's inside the weed. The other thing that I truly, totally believe in, and I'm going to get shot down for this one because I believe it, and it just sounds like retarded madness to most people. But I fully believe, and I'm going to just go on record by saying this, I fully believe that the government has, for a long time, figured out a frequency pattern that they blast on certain people that are influential or have something to do with a way to change the course of the United States history in a certain direction, whatever path they want us to take. And they get blasted, man, with the frequency, because if you blast a frequency, a certain type of frequency, just like when you're tuning the strings on your guitar, if you find that perfect harmonic tone, then you either get a great, great feeling on the inside, but if that bad boy's off just a little bit, Star, because you play the guitar, if that thing is off just a little bit, man, you are screwed and you feel like crap, and there's nothing else you can do about it except for try as hard as you can to fix it. Now, that's the frequency that I'm talking about. I think that the United States government and other governments around the world, since they're all working together, obviously, have figured out a way to blast a frequency onto us, the people, decidedly, to make us do certain things. And some people call it brainwash, some people call it mind control, some people straight up call it hypnotism. I don't know what it is, man, but these people in the last 2 years, in the last year alone, they're going bananas, and it's not for any reason that we know about. The interview that Jig played at the beginning of this this show, I'll give props to the dude who interviewed the chick, but the chick sounded like a retard. And I'm not coming down on you. I don't know who your name is or what your name is or where you're from, but you sound weird. There's something wrong where you can't speak for yourself or something, or something like a TV show going on in the background, My Little Pony, maybe a little bit of strawberry shortcake or something's kicking on back there, but you can't seem to handle that kind of interview. You sound like you have a lot of really cool things to say, but you're stuck in some weird kind of blonde bimbo moment. Nothing against blondes. I love blondes. But check it out. The frequency that I think is being blasted on these people, it's picked out for certain people, certain places to help change the path of the United States in certain critical moments, like the Second Amendment. Just like the caller, he called in and said, "Look, man, this happened at a critical tipping point of the United States. How in the world did somebody with all those guns walk into the movie theater with all these guns strapped on them?" Very good point. How? How is that possible without some kind of weird brainwash psychotic thing happened to him. Of course he was crazy. JiG had a good point. The two pictures that showed up on the news, they don't even look the same. The dude that smiled all happily inside his school photo, and then the guy that they showed inside court, that's two different dudes. Anybody that's half retarded